We are the Long Island Tea, where we spill the tea.
It's true. We're from Long Island, so we say, how you doing? How you doing?
I don't.
We're in the middle of the vines.
Yes.
Because it's Memorial Weekend. So
It's
there's
kickoff. We're here. It's summertime. Long Island wine of the week.
I'm thankful for our hot teas.
Yes. That's like such a Long Island thing.
We're just talking about real life.
Right.
That's what we do. Welcome back to Long Island Tea, where we spill the tea on all things Long Island. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Sharon. Welcome back.
Yes, we have a great show today. So,
I'm excited.
Oh my God, we have talk about some celebrity. A very special guest, Ross Mathews, who we spoke with, and he's just a doll face.
And we love him. I mean, he's a true Long Islander now.
No, I know. I want to take him everywhere.
Yeah.
I feel like
we have like our summer planned.
we have his summer plans.
Weekly
for sure.
itineraries for him, for sure.
So we have a great interview we're going to play for you. But first of all, you know, we start every episode by saying, how you doing?
How you doing?
I'm hot.
It's hot.
I don't understand.
Summer is here.
Everyone's like, it's like July in April. I'm like, that's not okay.
I know. I'm here for it. I love it.
But it's just,
But you know what the worst part is? Our building did not turn off the heat or turn on the air conditioning.
Hot. But it's only for a couple days.
Yeah.
And then it goes back to normal.
I don't believe that.
Oh, I just looked at the time.
know.
I'm like ready.
I know.
I'm like Saturday, it's going to be raining and like in the 60s again. I'm like, thank you.
I don't.
Yes.
I mean,
So I was talking
I'm going to be a weatherman in my next life.
Yeah, you
Tell
don't
ya.
think so? You're going to say
I'm going to say
no? You say forget about
forget about it.
it? It's funny because I was talking to Kenzie at Arizona State, and I'm like, it's so hot here. And she's like, it's hot here. It's like 98 degrees.
Wow.
She's like, everyone's angry.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes you. Honestly,
right.
it's so true because my house, I live on the top floor of my house and literally heat rises, obviously. And it's like 90 degrees in my house now and all the windows are open. There's no cross breeze. It's like, talk about anxiety.
Yeah.
Right there. Everybody's moody.
Oh,
Everybody's
the heat
moody.
makes you so. I was
Moody,
angry. I used to
moody.
be angry all summer, and now I'm like, summer's amazing. Even when it's hot here, it's not like that. So it's gonna just a couple days. But you know, we always talk about flipping your porch.
Yeah.
The other thing I have learned to do, and I wonder if you do this or other long. So I switch out the down comforter for the quilt. Do you do that?
On your bed?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm like such a seasonal quilter.
You're like, yeah. Doesn't everybody do
Yeah.
that?
I mean, do you change your curtains?
What?
You don't change your curtains?
No.
Oh.
You change your curtains? That's intense.
I
From
know.
what to what?
So, like, I have, like, velvety curtains for the winter. And then, like, more sheer curtains for the summer.
No, not only do I not change my curtains, Sharon, my curtains are whatever came with the house.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see my office, right?
I want to do, like, those blinds. Like, I don't want to do curtains. I'm done. Mm-hmm. You know.
Yeah. That's, you know, when you get extra money that you don't need anything else to do with, you're like, I'll get some blinds instead of my curtains. Like, no. But I did. I just changed out my quilt to my quilt last night.
Okay.
So, yeah, I was like, already?
I know. But it's funny. I slept with the windows open, obviously, and the birds were
here we go.
chirping this morning.
The birds are like aggressive.
At like 4:30 in the morning. I'm like, what is happening?
I know. You're like, I mean, at first you're like, oh, you know, chirp, chirp at the
chirp.
birds. Oh, they're so cute.
So
and then they're
cute.
like,
Yeah. And then you're like, shut the window.
I know. You're like, can anybody get some sleep?
Right. I'm just tired.
And then, as you saw on the Instagram, we're almost at my favorite season of the year, leaf blowing season.
Yeah. Oh,
which will
yeah,
be
yeah,
every
yeah,
weekend when you're trying to sleep and like,
Funny enough, I feel like everybody is posting that now. I feel like we started that trend too.
Yes. I started complaining about the leaf blowers and everybody's like, oh no, that's what we do here. Now everyone's starting to go like, why?
Right.
No. Can we just, it's like noise. It's noise terrorism.
It is.
Stop it.
It's funny, like, you know, my sister who I live with has like opposite days off, so she's off during the week. Like she closes her business Monday and Tuesday. So Monday, the kickoff to this heat wave that we're having on Long Island, she's sitting outside. She's like, I'm like, it's a beautiful day, whatever. I'm texting her and she's like, yeah, I literally sat out for 2 minutes until the landscapers came and screwed it all up.
Yeah.
No, like, exactly.
Can't even enjoy it. When it finally gets nice enough to sit outside, A, landscapers, B, mosquitoes.
Oh, yeah.
And then the worst part, I don't know why we're just bashing on everything right now, because of the heat. It's probably because of the heat.
Yeah.
You go to the beach, the best part, as I said to Thomas the other day, I'm like, it's almost happy hour, sunset, pizza at the beach season, which is the best ever. And, everybody goes out and you take your bottle of rosé and your pizza and the kids all play and everybody from the schools go. So all your kids' friends are there.
That's awesome.
And then as soon as the sun dips down, everyone cheers.
Yeah.
And then the gnats come out.
Mm-hmm. Then you got to go.
I'm like, what is with these gnats? They're in your face.
Yeah.
And they bite you.
Yeah.
They're like
green flies.
The green flies that hurt.
Oh.
No, the green flies, you see them. They're large. Gnats, you're like talking about the little tiny ones that you don't
swarms.
see. Yeah. Green flies, they burn. Like they hurt when they bite you.
Is there like a candle? Are you supposed to like take a gnat aren't there candles like citrus or citronella?
Didn't you get Thomas a salt gun?
Oh, well, they don't like it doesn't kill an army of gnats.
Yeah, true.
It's a salt gun that kills. Yeah. So the salt, it's on our Amazon page, by the way. You can go to our, let's see, Amazon.com/Discover Long Island.
/shop/
Thank you, Michael. Amazon.com/shop/Discover Long Island. And you can buy the salt. It's called something funny. I forget what it's called. So I have to tell you, I went to Bruce Springsteen.
I know. You didn't take me.
I know. I'm sorry.
I took Thomas.
I don't know how you weren't there because according to my Facebook, I think you might just be about 8 years too young. But everybody in my age demographic and up on Long Island was at Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, yeah.
Every single Facebook post, I was like, everybody was here.
Everybody. And I loved like talking to you the next day, like your stories.
Oh my God, I was so tired,
funny.
First of all. So let me first tell you that UBS Arena, amaze.
Oh, absolutely.
It is a game changer. It's my first event going to. I mean, I've been to the ribbon cutting, but I've never been to an event there. Have you guys been to an event there yet?
No, I haven't been.
Well, the Islanders just made the playoffs, so we'll have to go to an Islanders game. But it's gorgeous. I mean, you're not waiting in the restroom lines. Right. There's restrooms everywhere.
Right.
The food vendors are amazing and diverse and awesome and delicious, and there's not like the huge lines.
Right.
There's plenty of space to walk around. I mean, I remember you used to like
Tight
it was
squeeze,
like, oh my God, like cattle. And the other one. It's so beautiful and wonderful. And I loved it. We were very lucky. We had diamond parking.
Yeah, I was going to say, you VIP.
We had diamond
You
parking.
VIP
right?
there.
And you're like, what is diamond parking? It's what it sounds like.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
100%.
literally front door parking. So get this, though. I'll tell you a story. So we get there early because we had the VIP pre-party, which was amazing also at this incredible event. So we get there early because we want to like talk to everyone and thank them.
Right.
And we go to the diamond parking. It's like front door. It's basically, it's like for the lazies.
It's literally like...
I know.
Well, and there's like signage.
It's
Diamond
like
parking
valet.
here. Yeah.
Yes, it's like valet without having to give your car to somebody else.
Right.
It's awesome. And it's a little bitty parking lot, and there was completely wide open. I mean, there was like maybe 4 cars in the whole thing.
Because we got there early.
Because we got there early. So there were 2 cars backed in, like facing right the front of the building, and they were tailgating already. They were there. It was like tailgating.
Trunks open.
Trunks open, chairs out, 2 car, and then the whole rest of the parking lot open. So what does my husband do? He starts to back in immediately next to the 2 cars that are tailgating.
Why?
Within inches.
Why?
And it's taken him 3 tries.
Right.
He's like, oh, I'm on the line a little bit closer.
Because there's like definitely something about backing into a parking spot, those people.
So, I can't stand people that back into parking spots. My one exception is at like stadiums, or sporting events where you need to make a quick getaway and you don't want to have to be backing out.
Sure.
So I'm not against backing in, but I'm like, just pull forward.
Right.
And any
or
other
park
spot.
10 spots away.
I'm looking at 40 spots that are completely open with no one near. I'm like, he pulls in and I look at him, I'm like, I can't open my door.
I can't get out of the car.
I'm so close to this car. And they're all staring at us too.
Did you have to climb over? They're laughing at you guys. They're like, look at this.
What are you doing?
How you doing?
Like, they're looking at us like, really?
That's funny.
I looked at him, I'm like, really?
Yeah.
I can't even open. He's like, fine. So then he pulls forward. I'm like,
Smart
thank
man.
you.
Smart man.
I mean, what is that about? He's
Right.
like, I wanted to park there. It was premier spot.
It's prime spot.
I'm like, I don't know about that.
Right.
This is prime.
This
no
is
one's
fine.
stinging your car.
Right.
Anyway,
I can open my door.
I can get out.
I don't have to do the climb over.
We're being stared at by Critics Corner.
Oh my God,
while you're
they're
like backing
funny.
in. Anyway,
You know, that was point of conversation all night with those.
I'm sure they're like, what's this guy
Remember that
doing?
guy? Remember that guy backing in?
Like right, every parking spot, thousands
that's
open.
funny.
I want this one. I'm like, why?
Because he's a good man.
I
he
know.
wanted you to not have to walk too
No,
far.
it's a man thing. It's a man thing, backing into the like closest, tightest spot there is, and just showing you can do it.
Yeah.
Right. And so,
I mean,
whatever.
I don't know.
So then we're up in the VIP reception. They had all these fun drinks, and so we were looking off this ledge. It was open air. It was a beautiful night. It was super fun. The DJ was playing great music, great vibe. The servers were awesome. By the way,
to say, that's what I was going to say earlier when you were talking about the food service and everything like that. The staff at UBS
amazing
are all so friendly and amazing and welcoming and like so proud to be working there.
They were top quality,
absolutely
friendly. They were dancing around. They were on it. There was never not food coming by.
Yeah,
they were dancing with the people and having a great time.
Cute.
So I'm like tipping, you know, not every time they come by, but each server, like, you know, if they come by multiple times, I'd like give them Tom's like, what do you, like, nobody else is tipping. I'm like, I represent the hospitality industry. Right. These are my people.
These are my peeps.
These are my peeps.
Yeah.
And they were just like, you know, of course they didn't expect it, but they were so nice. So then this is the best part. We're looking down on the diamond lot because it's right below us.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, just people watching it or watching the swarms. Yeah, there's our car. Still no one around it.
Prime spot.
No one's dinging it.
Yep.
What a concept. And we're watching swarms, people coming in, and we're like, oh, we're, you know, it's kind of nice to be at the VIP reception with your, you know, Born to Rum drink or whatever.
Love it.
You know, the cute.
So cute.
Very fun. And then this beautiful, like, black stretch limo pulls into Diamond. And I'm like, ooh, somebody arrived in style, right?
Yeah.
Big. So I'm. It's got my attention. I'm watching, and these ladies get out, like 5 of them, and they get out, and you can tell they're like, you know, probably my age, a little bit older, and they're out for the night. Bruce Springsteen. They get out immediately. They're starting to walk in the parking lot. One goes down, fully passes out,
flat on her face.
Not like didn't trip. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like she'd been having a good time in the limo.
Oh, she had a good time.
Down for the count, and then everyone like swarmed, and I was like, now I'm like with my Born to Rum, you know. Watching
Cocktail.
people watching, and they swarm around her, and she's like, she's sitting up, and she's like, laughing, and then so they put her back in the limo.
They're like, you're gonna sit this one out.
Yeah, and then they all go. We're talking. Concert started at 7:30, and then all of a sudden, 7:45, everyone's talking. No big boom, lights down, starts. That's why I didn't know.
Opening.
I'm like, what? Did it start?
Right.
The show's. He's just singing.
Well, the
There's
best
no
part is
pomp
like,
and circumstance. There's not even like a lull. The lights go down and let the crowd like cheer. And, you know, no. Lights down, starts. Boom. Dun, 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 whatever it was. I'm like,
yeah, because he's Bruce.
I'm like,
doesn't need an opener.
Is this happening?
Yeah.
I'm like, I got to get in my seat.
I need to run. I'm born to run.
I was like, and it was a great show. I mean, he looks amazing, by the way.
Does he?
So, oh my God, he's like super fit.
Yeah.
Which was funny because I saw a picture of my other favorite, John Cougar Mellencamp.
Oh, yes.
Girl,
with you on that.
Let me tell you, I should send you the picture. I sent it to my friend Jay.
Like? Oh.
He had that biggest high-waisted grandpa pants on with suspenders I've ever seen in my life. I'm like, what happened?
Why?
And then you see Bruce, and you're like, Bruce, he's got his black jeans and his black shirt,
hat.
and it's just like, looks like he just did in the 80s. And we had some really great wine there, but it wasn't as good as this wine.
Oh, girl. We are drinking. Let me find it here. We are drinking RGNY 2019 Tinto Red, a highly aromatic blend of red berries, dark chocolate, and spices. This wine has a soft and elegant tannin structure.
Yeah. It's lovely.
And we chill it because we like to chill
we
our
have
reds.
to today.
And we have to today.
Everything would have to be chilled. We need to be chilled. Somebody put us on ice.
Seriously?
Like,
seriously, where's our ice bath?
No,
this is awesome. I love this wine.
Yeah, it's really good.
Did you see the CEO of RGNY was like so excited? She commented on the reel.
Oh no,
that we had on Instagram. It was so cute.
Oh, I love it when our stakeholders and partners get excited. Speaking of people that are excited about Discover Long Island, we have Ross Mathews interview, and
so excited.
Alyssa's like, he should be our spokesperson.
Oh my gosh!
And he does. He's so cute. He's like, I've told you off camera, I do everything you guys do. You've made me feel as a transplant so at home. So we had a great interview with him. He's got a show coming up. We're going to give away tickets. So let's hear from Ross Mathews.
Yeah.
it's our super new favorite to Long Island, Ross Mathews. Thank you so much for being with us.
Hi, neighbors. How are you?
I know. And we are great now that you're here. And we were introduced to you by our other bestie, Elisa DiStefano.
Who's like maybe the nicest human on the planet, you know? I mean, she just is... I met her because when I moved to Long Island, we started talking. She actually came to the Drew Barrymore show set and visited me. And then when I announced that I was going on tour and kicking it all off on May 11th at the Paramount in Huntington, she became like a one-woman PR team. Like she was like, this is who you need to know. This is how we get the word out. We're going to sell this show out. She's been an amazing friend to me. I really love her.
She's really as sweet off camera as she is on. And she's like Long Island's, sweetheart. So that I'm glad that you found her and that she found you to welcome you to Long Island, because you are a new resident. And I just want to let our listeners know who you are, because you have this really incredible career. And what I really think is so funny is you remind me of Michael in a way, because you started with Jay Leno's show. What is it, right? 2001. Is that correct?
That's when I first started. I was the intern behind the scenes who always wanted to be a talk show host, and they put me on, and that's when it all started.
And I remember seeing you for the first time on Chelsea Handler's show.
Yeah,
I loved. Chelsea is like, I loved her show. I watch her show all the time. I read her books. I think she's amazing.
She is amazing.
She is amazing.
And she's still one of my great friends. Every time she's in New York, we get together for happy hour. She's just great.
That's so awesome, because I read her book, and again, but here's what I have to say. Now you're the co-host of Drew Barrymore, right, on the Drew Barrymore show, which is amazing. But I feel like it's kind of Michael's world where he works for Abby Lee Miller and me, and I kind of hope that I'm more like the Drew Barrymore and Abby Lee is more like the Chelsea Handler. Like, those are two completely different personalities.
Totally.
I mean, both amazing, both strong, brilliant women, but it's just so funny. It must be weird going from Chelsea, who's like, I read her books. Some of her pranks that she plays on the staff and stuff are intense. And then Drew Barrymore seems, like we've always said, she's our best friend. She just doesn't know it. Like the sweetest, kindest person.
It's interesting you bring that up, because those two specifically could not be more different. But I've been lucky to work with, of course, Jay Leno, then Chelsea Handler, RuPaul. I sit next to him, a producer and judge on RuPaul's Drag Race, Drew Barrymore. But, you kind of have to, in this business, sort of just be able to, when like you jump rope and you just sort of have to get the rhythm and you jump in. Everybody's rhythm is a little different, So I just sort of, I'm not good at a lot, but I guess I'm good at figuring out how to jump in with the different types of people, because you're right. Chelsea, Drew, Jay, Rue, they're all so different.
Very different. And I was like, to go between those personalities, but the one thing they all have in common is their incredible talent, right? And so you've definitely been connected.
And great people up close. Every single one of them, as different as they are, they have been so kind to me, But I have to say, Drew, I get to hang with every single day and up close, and we have just become so close. She's the most incredible human I've ever met. There's nobody else like her.
I totally agree. We're big fans, as we watch her, and she'll be like handing out her book in Times Square, like, thank you for taking my magazine. Right. Thank you for doing this. And I'm like, she's like so nice.
Signing books at Barnes and Nobles, and she was in my hometown, and I missed it, and I was so upset.
No, she doesn't take it for granted. She talks about everything. We talk about, nothing's off limits on our show. We go there and it's all the feels on our show, but she's so open about what it was like growing up as her, and then thinking it was all done, and that she was like, almost feeling washed up as a teen, and so the fact that she's built this empire, not a second goes by she takes it for granted, and the gratitude you see out there is real deal, man. Everything's real deal with her.
I love her, and I see, on social, she's so real, and she's a Long Island resident too. I think Amagansett is her house. Mm-hmm. Do you get to go hang with her in the Hamptons?
Out there, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And this me and Long Island is a new thing. You both know I was West Coast for life before I moved out here. Kind of accidentally. I didn't know I was moving here. I came to visit and just never left. I had met my boyfriend at the time, early January 2020. And then we dated, and then the world shut down, and I didn't see him forever. And then Drew started the show in September of 2020 with no audience, just her, if you remember. And then in October of 2020, I came to visit my boyfriend, Wellington, who lived on Long Island. And they asked me to pop in and do news with her just because she was all alone. And it was when everything was just locked down. It was so scary. And she and I just sort of found each other. We didn't know each other. And I walked in there and we, she was alone in that studio. And I was sort of like, I just lost my mom and I just was alone, we were all alone in that time. And we found each other and clicked. And they said, can you come back tomorrow? And I did. And they said, can you come back next week? And I just never left. And that's how I ended up moving to New York. And then Long Island happened. I'm telling you, I fell in love 3 times with my boyfriend, who's now was my fiance and now my husband, with Drew Barrymore. And with
congratulations. That is the most amazing story. I am so glad you shared that. I mean, I knew you moved here and I thought you moved here because of the show, but I love your love story, not only with your husband, but with Long Island and Drew, because, similar with me, I moved here 7 years ago from Arizona. And I had
then you get it.
Never been here. It came sight unseen for this. They did a national search for this job. And I was going through a divorce after 20 years and my life was upside down. And I was like, why not New York, right? I mean, connected to New York City. I just gave it a shot.
She threw a dart.
I did. and I was supposed to have a 2-year contract, and that was 7 years ago. And I met my husband, and now I've gotten married. Same thing. And I fell in love with Long Island. And I, if you're like me, I just want to share it with everybody else in the West Coast. I'm like, it's so awesome. And all my friends and family come to visit, and they're like, this is amazing. We want to spend all summer here.
The same. And, on the West Coast, I had no idea about Long Island. I didn't know, we know, what do we know? I guess where you live, right? And so I'd heard of it, but I didn't really understand what it was. And I remember the first time my husband lived in Freeport, and he brought me down to the nautical mile.
Yes.
Yeah.
How
and
cool.
I went like this. I go, wait, this is Long Island? This is, and then he took me to Oheka Castle, and then he took me up to Prime and in Huntington. He took me. I'm like, what in the Long Island? I had no idea. And so when I really moved here and made it official, I said this is where I want to live because it's so close to the city and it feels like I'm in paradise.
It really is. And Sharon hears me say this all the time. And I think the exact same way. People like make fun of me how much I love Long Island, and Long Islanders don't know either. They take it for granted, right? They're like, oh, why would anyone want to come here from California or Arizona or whatever? And I'm like, because it's magical. and there are some, when you really dig deep to Long Islanders, no one loves Long Island more than a Long Islander who's lived here for generations, but at first glance, you'll say like, oh, Long Island,
And it's funny because we're the marketing agency for Long Island. And a lot of people think the Hamptons, right? That's how they recognize Long Island. But sometimes people, in the West Coast or mid USA, they think the Hamptons is like Cape Cod. They don't know that it's New York. It's Long Island.
I didn't know the Hamptons were on Long Island. And so when my friends say Long Island, I go, okay, let's talk. And I tell them, do you know the Hamptons? They're like, what? We don't know anything on the West Coast about it. And now I feel like a member of the club. I feel like someone who totally gets it. Thank you. And I have been so welcomed. We are out all the time. We love going to dinner. We love like a farmer's market. We love going to like Northport, walking around those shops. And everybody has been so kind to me on Long Island. I just feel at home. I felt at home right away.
You know what?
I have to say you're an official Long Islander because you said on Long Island,
yes,
not in Long Island.
You can tell your husband trained you well.
I do know this. Thank you.
And again, that's how I felt about this community too, just so embraced. And, I say, especially when you come here during a time like that and you felt alone, and to be embraced by this. And it really is a community. My daughters were 3 at 3rd grade and 6th grade when we moved here. And my oldest daughter's now back at Arizona State. And she said, we had her on the pod. And she said, Long Island allows you to have a childhood. Long Island is like this incredible, like time warp kind of place almost, which is wonderful. Yeah. So we're so glad to have you.
But you're not isolated. You still are in the thick of everything, but it does feels that way. My neighborhood is really cute. I mean, there's like, it reminds me of my childhood. There's kids on bikes, screaming in the yard and playing. And it feels more like reality than a Hollywood or Manhattan. Honestly, it feels like what I'm more used to.
I know. And you were in Elise's article and you were like, Long Island needs a better publicist. And I was like, Ross, that's us. I know.
Well, you are the publicist for Long Island. When I said that, I meant like, because people on the West Coast have no idea how fabulous it is. I didn't know until I came, and then I found you guys right away. I love your Instagram. I love everything you're doing. And I cannot tell, I've told you this personally off camera in an email. I go everywhere you say to go and do everything. I'm like, if you say it's good, I know it's going to be good. So thank you for being my blueprint to Long Island.
Oh, that's awesome.
That makes our day.
Yes.
And honestly, that's what we're here to do, is to help everyone live their best Long Island life. Residents, visitors, everyone. And we just got a reasonable budget increase. So hopefully we will be able to tell the West Coast now.
Right.
Because we really have only been speaking to the Northeast. So we're
good to tell. It's time to tell the world. Time to tell everybody. It's so fun.
kind of. But a lot of Long Islanders also want to keep it our secret too.
Okay. I'll follow your lead, whatever you do.
Exactly. Okay, so we're really excited because you have a new show coming to the Paramount.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm going all over the country with my new stand-up tour called I Got You Girl, but I wanted to kick it off here at home. Now that, Long Island has been so good to me, I just thought, they asked me, where do you want to start it out? I said, can we do it here? And so we're doing it at the Paramount in Huntington, which is one of the most beautiful, it's one of the most beautiful
great theater. Yeah.
I saw my friend Teresa Caputo there. I've seen my friend Debbie Gibson there. It is so beautiful and fun. So honestly, I thought they would say no, but they said yes. And I was like, oh, no, I have to fill it. But I know we will. And I'm so excited. The show is so much fun. It's all new material. Me doing stand-up. Do you guys remember Fun? Remember we used to have Fun?
Right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I know. And now, yes.
I want to do that.
Are you going to bring that back? Are you going to bring Fun back?
Single-handedly, I will bring Fun back starting in Long Island. The show is me doing stand-up and so much more. So I'm up there and then I turn it into the audience. We go in there, games, you guys ask anything. And what I love about the last part of the show is that it's different every time I do it. As I go around the country, I'm never going to get bored. And I create these like real moments up on that stage with, once you shut the door and we start having fun again, it really is. I feel like, this is so cheesy, but I feel like an energy conductor. You know what I mean? Like I can say, we're going to go talk about this now. We're going to change the subject now. I want to talk to you now. And it's just so fun to see people's faces. People who we've all been through a lot in the past few years. To see people smiling, I get to do it on the Drew Barrymore show every day. It's like, it's my one superpower is to be able to just make people feel good for a little bit. And I'm so excited to do that live again.
Well, being, as relatable as you are, where, people feel like they're your friend immediately. Mm-hmm. And when they watch you on screen, I remember thinking that about you. You're so approachable. You're so genuine. Like Drew, it's a great match because you're so genuinely kind on and off camera. You've been so gracious. And I think that is a gift. It really is. And it's something that not everybody has. So the I Got You Girl, and tell me if I'm wrong. It's on May 11th at Paramount.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, May 11th. Tickets are available at helloross.com. It is the first show I'm doing. So it's almost like I wanted to do it at home because I know that if you guys came and I totally screwed it up, that you would love you. Would we would be okay. We'll work it out together. Yeah. But I'm not worried about it because it is going to be so much fun.
Yeah, you've got the hometown audience and the hometown love, and it's going to be great. And so we're going to give away 2 tickets to our listeners, by the way.
Fabulous.
Yes. And of course, we're going to promote it all over our channels. So we've got us in your corner.
Great. And can I bump those tickets up to VIP tickets? Can I do that?
Oh, you're so great. Yes. And that's a meet and greet. People get to meet you?
Totally. Yeah. Meet and greet, and I supply the meat.
Okay, but I have to tell you, when Michael was telling us about your show, I Got You Girl. And the concept is like, you've got, the gay bestie and the women, right? This wonderful relationship that we have with each other.
Yeah, I think, it's so funny. Yeah, I really was thinking about what I want to talk about, and I think after, like I said, everything we've been through, and so we're coming out of it, thank God. And I was just thinking, like, I'm so grateful for all the people I had in my life, not to be total cheese fest, but it was hard and it was scary. And like, I relied on people for levity, for actual help, for companionship, everything. And when I thought about the important people in my life, it's a lot of women. My mom, my mom's best friends, the women in my life. There's a special thing going on between straight women and gay men specifically. Everyone's welcome at my show, but a lot of the show I celebrate that because we got each other's backs always. Like if we go out and you get drunk, girl, I will hold your hair while you throw up, and while I'm back there, I will French braid it for you. And got you, girl.
I love it. Yeah.
It's really all about that, about having each other's back and how fun that is.
And I love that. So when he told me that, I related so much because my gay bestie, Patrick, I'm going to give him a shout out. Mm-hmm. Again, was at my very first housewarming, was at the hospital, the birth of both of my children, gay bestie for life. And he was in this city by himself. He had also moved out from Arizona, and he was in the city by himself when we went into lockdown. So on the last train out, pretty much, I was like, Patrick, you got to come. It's 2 weeks. 2 weeks turned into 2.5 months. He quarantined with us. And I was just the best woman at his wedding. And it was so wonderful. And my daughters have grown up with, I think because of him, they've grown up, they both have their gay bestie. I mean, shout out to Andrew and William for both my daughters. And like, it's a special connection of just camaraderie and trust and fun. And it really is a wonderful relationship.
It is. And I remember my mom, when she was still here, I in my first book, Man Up, I talk about coming out as a little kid. And I asked my mom, did you have any advice for parents who, had kids who were gay? And she goes, oh my God, you're so lucky. I can't imagine my life without a gay son. It's so fun. Who would take me to get mani-pedis? And I think that is what I'm talking about. And I want to be very clear. Everybody's welcome to the show. I mean, grab you and your girlfriends, grab you and your gay bestie, bring your husband if you want to, because I promise your husband will laugh because I'll point out his cargo pants. Okay. We will make it fun. We will welcome him with open arms. But I do want to celebrate it. I've never seen that really celebrated in the way that I want to do it. And I think it's going to be a blast, and then it's not political. I'm not trying to do that. There's enough of that going on. This is just about celebrating and laughing.
It's about love, and it's about friendship and camaraderie. And that's what I love so much. And, and it's great because we're going into to Pride Month. Mm-hmm. Are you doing anything on Long Island for Pride? There's a bunch of new Pride celebrations. Did you know that?
There are. I would love to. So if you can help me, connect me. I'm not connected with any of the stuff. I mean, of course I Google what's going on, where's what, but I would absolutely love to be involved. I'm going on tour a lot through the summer around the country, but if I'm on Long Island and there's a Pride activity happening, I kind of have to be there. Don't you think?
Oh my God. There's a bunch of them. Yeah, there's a bunch of them. Have you been to Fire Island yet?
Okay, believe it or not, no. Because every summer I have to go back to LA to shoot. And this summer I've sort of decided that I'm here for the most part. I'm sticking around. So we will be on Fire Island, I promise you.
Okay, I really feel like I need to take you to Fire Island for the first
time.
We're
going to go. An itinerary,
Lisa
everything.
can come. Mm-hmm. It'll be so fun. Your husband will be, because we love Fire Island. Are you aware of the Fire Island invasion? Are you aware of this story?
No. Is it like it sounds like an STD. What is it?
No, I mean, maybe. There's probably that might be involved.
When you get crabs, you're like, oh no, I'm itching. I got the Fire Island invasion.
That's so funny. Drew will know all about it. So you can ask Drew. She'll for sure know. But there's this great history, and it's 4th of July weekend every year. So Fire Island has a lot of different islands on Fire Island, right? There's the Family Island. There's the very flamboyant Cherry Grove Island. And then the Pines is more like the bougie, quiet, everybody has a 6-pack and a small dog, And so there was one 4th of July, and there were, the Pines was kind of snooty to Cherry Grove, and they didn't want those wild people there. So they got on a ferry, and Cherry Grove all went and invaded the Pines.
Oh my God, how
and now
fun.
it's a huge celebration. They reenact it every 4th of July weekend. Michael's going, so he'll be covering it all on social. If you don't want the mayhem of that as your first go experience, we'll do a different.
Yeah. But how fun! I see. This is the stuff I'm talking about. There's it's such a rich history here on Long Island. There's tradition. It's so beautiful. Even when I walk around like my little town, I see churches that are like, this is the spot where something happened in 1600. I'm like, why? I have to do the 1492. Oh yeah, that makes sense. It's like this. We don't have that in California. It's like, the biggest tradition is like, that's where the Del Taco was built in 86.
Exactly.
That's the oldest building in Los Angeles.
I know. And then in my neighborhood, I live in Setauket. I like to say it with a Long Island accent. And it is a home of the Revolutionary War history. The show Turn is all about it. The Spy Ring. It's crazy. So I want to play, Sharon, let's play a little game with you.
I love this. This is what we were excited about.
So we're going to play a first-time game with you, Ross, because we just knew you'd be the fun one.
Okay, great. I'm down.
It's called How You Doing? Or forget about it. So if it's something that you like and you're like, yes, I'm here for it, you say, how you doing?
How you doing?
And if it's something you're not here for, you say, forget about it.
Forget about it.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right, go ahead, Sharon.
All right. So driving on the Long Island Expressway.
Forget about it. No, I take the train. In 3 days a week. I love the train. I sit, I watch, Great British Break Off or whatever I watch on my iPad. I'm in.
The Long Island Railroad is so great, right?
It is great, but then I do have to say they screwed with the schedule a little bit, and that for a few weeks I was not a big fan, because it was.
But then you got used to it, right?
Well, they moved it back.
Okay.
They moved it back, yeah, but and then because they took the trains away, so everyone was like sitting on each other's faces. It was terrible for They fixed it. I got in the app and wrote to them, and I was one of the people who.
Oh, you're a real Long Islander now.
Yeah,
you're like part of a civics group. That's
I learned how to complain like a proper Long Islander. Yeah,
Exactly.
Okay, so Long Island pizza.
what am I supposed to forget about, or what's, how you doing? Even though, I mean, I can only how you doing a little bit with the pizza, because then I'm looking at my waistline and be like, what you doing? I have to be.
Seriously.
So true.
This is my issue. Okay.
Winter or summer?
Oh, wait, you got to pick one. Like winter. How about winter? Because he's got to say.
Snow and sun in the same week.
Yeah. But just say winter.
Winter.
Long Island winter.
No, I'm not into winter. Forget about it.
See, Michael and I love winter.
Summer, how you doing? Summer in Long Island. It is so stunning. There's farm stands up, the vineyards were out, the beaches. It's my favorite place. You know what? I have a little sunroom in my house, right, where it's like all what's that called? Screened in. And so when the thunder showers happen, I posted on my Instagram last year. I'm sitting there, thunder showers in my sunroom, and there's lightning, but it's amazing.
Yeah,
I know.
awesome.
Seasons.
You must live on the water.
Ooh.
Okay, what have we got here? Geese.
Forget about it. These geese, let me tell you something. They're all over my neighborhood. And you drive, and then they start doing that thing where they just mosey. And they just like hang out in the middle of the street. And I'm looking like, my train, I'm going to miss my train. If this goose, I'm like, you know what's for dinner, goose, if you don't keep moving.
Come on,
totally.
Out of the way.
You have to like open your car door. And
yes.
You don't want to honk. You don't want to hurt them. You want to respect them, but move it.
Oh, and let me tell you, when if you're ever on a walk, like to the beach and the geese come up, they will peck your skull out. So they're evil. They're super mean and vicious. They like hiss at you. Yeah. So I'm with you on that one.
I don't mess with them, but I'm annoyed.
Okay. Yeah. So we know about, because you already said she was your friend, Debbie Gibson.
Mm-hmm.
Love. Debbie Gibson is so, I've known her forever, and she is so fabulous. And every time she's in town, she either comes on Drew or I see her on Long Island. It's so great.
I mean, how does she look better with age?
It's amazing.
It's unfair, she eats I think she eats a walnut.
Yeah.
And that's it. She's very clean.
Water with lemon.
Yes.
Probably. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Bless her.
Hamptons.
How you doing? I like the Hamptons. It's beautiful. I mean, I don't live there. When I'm there, I'm like, I feel like I'm at the zoo for rich people. You just kind of go and look at them, but it's aspirational.
Mm.
What about the Islanders?
Oh yeah, okay. So I get it. I go to a barbershop in my town, and there's Islander stuff everywhere, and they're always talking about them. And I didn't understand what an Islander was at first.
Yeah, you're not. You'll learn.
I'm not interested. I just tried to watch a game once, and I was like, "What the puck is going on?"
You're so good. Well, let me tell you, you're going to hear a lot more about them because they just clinched the Stanley Cup playoffs spot. So,
they're playing now? This is happening?
Yep. They just last night they clinched a playoff season. So just so you know, when you'll sound like a real Long Islander on the train now. You'll be like, "Hey, about those Islanders."
Okay, let me try that. Ready? Hey, how about the Islanders?
Oh my God, like a natural, like a native.
I don't know.
Sharon's like,
I don't know. I'll work it out. I'll just trust me. I'll work on it.
Okay. Is there anything we missed? What's your favorite? Have you been out to the vineyards yet?
Oh, we have been out to the vineyards. One of my first dates with my husband was in the vineyards, and they gave us a little table, like actually in the grapes. Beautiful. And I always go to Del Vino.
I was going to ask you because you said Northport is the best.
I love Del Vino. They have the cauliflower crust pizza, which makes you feel like I'm eating a salad. And it has artichoke hearts and prosciutto. It's so good. And what I love about it is when the doors are all open and you're sitting in the grass, there's nowhere more gorgeous.
It feels like you're in Tuscany.
Right.
Completely.
So I'll be there on Friday. if you want to pop by.
Oh, that's a good idea because the weather's pretty good. Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be so hot. So you're a total trip. Is there anything else that you've been dying to see or do that you just haven't had a chance yet?
Well, I feel like every day I'm discovering something about Long Island. You know, like I meet somebody from a town I haven't been to yet. I find a new Home Goods, and I'm like, what? There's one here too. And it's just there's so much. I really want to explore the South Shore more because those beaches are so beautiful. But for me, to be honest with you, it's about how gorgeous summer is, and it's about the food on Long Island. I want to go to every restaurant I can. I've never had better food than I have on Long Island ever, anywhere.
It's amazing.
And it's all, amazing. It's so cool because it's also neighborhoody too. Yeah. You go in, that you see the owner, you see the regulars.
Right. And they're like family, owned businesses.
Oh, totally. We have our rotation in our town. And when I walk in, they say hi and they just bring me my martini. I don't even order. They just know exactly what I want.
We've talked about that. That's the best part.
One thing I would definitely suggest, Ross, is Robert Moses. We talked about it on our last pod. We talk about it all the time because it's really like the best place on earth. And driving over that Robert Moses Bridge. I mean, you went to Nautical Mile, so you probably took Ocean Parkway and did the whole ride. But Robert Moses, the white sandy beach.
Okay, I'm going.
It's right next to Jones Beach, in case you know where that is. Jones Beach.
I do know where Jones Beach has been. I've been there because I said my husband lived in Freeport. Yeah, and he works in Elmont too. He's a director of curriculum there. My amazing husband, Dr. Wellington Garcia Mathews. So when I go visit him at work there, we sort of swing through some South Shore areas, and I'm picking it all up.
Good. Yes. Okay. Well, just feel free to, DM us or just email or text us if you're curious about things. Belmont Stakes is coming up, Triple Crown, potentially. Yes. Jones Beach Theater. If you have not seen a show at Jones Beach Theater, you have not lived.
Okay. I need to. Like I said, we're here this summer, so I'm really going to be able to experience it and have some time off and soak Long Island up. I can't wait. And I will be reaching out and sliding into your DMs because I'm telling you, everywhere you say to go, I save it on my Instagram, that little save button, bookmark.
Yeah. That's wonderful.
That's awesome.
We'll kick summer, the official kickoff to summer, just so you know, is always the Jones Beach Air Show. And it's Memorial Weekend. So we'll be there on Friday too. Come by and see us if you're around. Please tell Drew that she's our best friend and doesn't know it. And we'd love to come see you sometime at your show and just hang out in the audience and, thank you so much for everything that you do. And we will be there I got you, girl. Sharon and I will be there.
I'm so excited.
Oh, for sure.
Oh my gosh. I'm so excited you'll be there. Okay, great. Good. Please come. And to anybody who's interested in coming, I would say get your tickets fast because, it's approaching and they're selling. The link is at my website, helloross.com, or the website for the Paramount to get them. I promise you will enjoy the show. You'll have the best time and we'll laugh like we used to. Okay. I promise.
That sounds so intoxicating. And I don't think anyone that hears this interview is not going to want to buy those tickets today. So Thank you, Ross. We'll stay in touch this summer. Call us for anything.
You're the best, you guys. Thank you for everything. Bye, everybody.
You. Bye.
Okay, he's the cutest.
I love him.
He's so cute.
Relate to him so much. Like, he needs to be our spokesperson because he literally, fell in love with Long Island. I love that.
He doesn't even know it yet. He's like me because when I first met, he doesn't even know it. He's not been to Fire Island. He hasn't been to a zillion places.
Right.
And where he's been, he loves.
Yeah.
But it's
and
just.
he keeps discovering it. Like he said, I love that. He's like, I'm continuing to discover Long Island. Not only on his own, but with our help.
Yeah.
Like he follows all of our social and everything like that. And he loves This Weekend on Long Island that Michael does. I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah. And so Sharon and I are going to go to his show. So if you're a hot tea, please buy tickets to his show because he's so sweet and humble. He's like, I really want to sell it out and I really want it to be my hometown crowd. So let's all go and celebrate him. Let's make him feel welcome and make sure that we embrace him in the community and we show him our support as Long Islanders.
100%.
No one can do it like we can. Oh, and we're giving away 2 tickets. It's on our Instagram, Long Island Tea Podcast. And please make sure, if somebody tries to get out there and spoof our podcast, we're not going to charge you anything.
We would not charge you any money or anything like that. And make sure that it says look at the handle when you see it. Yeah. Make sure it's our official handle,
and
which is Long Island Tea. And we're not going to ask you to
follow us because you already follow us if you're on our podcast. So just be careful because there's a lot of, posers out there. We have so much going on. It's Earth Day on April 22nd.
I know. I love Earth Day. And I loved it since a kid. You're looking at me like I'm crazy. But I loved it being in school. Like, they made such a big deal. Because it's important to take care of our Earth, our planet.
The Earth is important. I mean, it's we're experiencing record heat.
Record heat, exactly.
Like, please take care of our Earth.
You know what? There's a ton of things going on.
And we've got
Earth
a blog.
Day.
We've got, so we don't have to mention everything because you just go to discoverlongisland.com, but a couple of them.
Peconic Land Trust, which is a partner of ours, they are, since 1983, they work with the community to protect nearly 14,000 acres of land, conserving more working farms on Long Island than any other private conservation organization. It's so important. If you visit peconiclandtrust.org, you can find out how to get involved. Relic, our favorites.
I love them.
You
gotta get
them.
If you don't have our cute, do we have any of those left?
Yeah.
Our Relic t-shirts?
Yeah.
If you have not been to shop.discoverlongisland.com, we have the Relic t-shirts and instead of the O on Long Island, it's an oyster, and $5 goes back to Relic to support oysters.
So no, every shirt sold, 5 oysters are planted.
Oh, okay, perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Sharon.
Relic is sustainability is a collection of projects aimed at protecting our oceans. They have over 48 actively maintained cleanup stations on Long Island. They sell quality crafted T-shirts and other apparel. With the purchase of each item, Relic helps to reseed 5 oysters in an ongoing effort to improve the water quality of our local bays. Incredible. Vanderbilt Museum, special exhibits, activities for all ages. April 29th, they have Astronomy Day, activities and shows, free observing with telescopes at 8 p.m.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
awesome.
There's a million things to do, and if nothing else, just go to one of our amazing parks and take a hike and get outside or go to the beach. I mean, we are lucky to live in a place that has so much outdoor open space. Our state parks are the best. Our county parks, our local parks.
And because Long Islanders literally spend so much time preserving these parks and areas where they do national cleanup days constantly, not just on Earth Day, but it's important to get your community out there to clean up the beaches and parks and things like that.
Our beaches and our water, keeping it clean and making sure that you leave no mess behind. Please respect where we live, and kudos to all of the organizations out there and the preservation organizations that have really worked so hard, in the civic organizations that have worked to preserve so much of the land that we're so lucky to have now. Okay, we already had some celebrity a little bit. I read this article and I thought this was really funny. I don't know if that it's celebrity, but for some reason this cracks me up. Okay, it's in Manchester, England, a British performance of the Bodyguard musical ended in unrequited love for some audience members who couldn't refrain from singing along to the anthemic finale.
Okay.
And I think this is so funny. I don't know why this cracked me up. The show at Palace Theatre in Manchester screeched to a halt Friday when 2 unruly patrons were ejected for joining the lead in singing the "I Will Always Love You" soaring emotional ballad made famous by Whitney Houston. It was not supposed to be a sing-along. Ushers carried signs, which lets you know that people want to sing. Ushers carried signs saying, "Please refrain from singing." And announcements were made in advance that patrons would have a chance to join at the end, but not to sing during the show.
Well, that's so funny because they do that with the Mamma Mia too.
At the end.
Have you seen?
Yeah, I love it.
Have you seen Mamma Mia on Broadway?
It's awesome.
And they do that too. They're like, please don't sing. Because,
I just say at that point, if you have to make signs that say don't sing, just let people sing.
Just let people be.
Maybe it should be a sing-along.
Right?
If people
like
are
Mamma
buying
Mia,
tickets.
so they do at the end, they'll they dance,
But they have to tell you. I mean,
Bodyguard is kind of a sad story.
Right, it is a sad story.
It kind of kills the
but
mood.
they think
I
that
don't think so. If you're at the end, I would totally want to sing along. Michael, how do you feel about this?
Yeah, but you also want to cry,
Yeah.
That's funny. I heard they were doing a Whitney show too.
Yeah, that'd be good.
That would be good.
That would be good. No, I had to laugh at that. I was like, they're carrying around signs and singing, please, and they had to kick people out.
They had to usher them out. It's true. My sister went to go. Somebody went to go see West Side Story last week, and she was like, there was 3 people in the audience that were literally
I get that's kind of annoying if you're
so
there
annoying.
to see, and people know West Side Story, they're singing, but I'm kind of like, I will always
funny
love
enough,
you.
right? It's true.
I mean, if you have to make signs to tell people not to sing, it's like, well, now that I've seen the sign, I want to sing.
Right. Now you're taunting me.
I can imagine you're sitting there shaking, I gotta sing.
I need to belt it.
Anyway,
Oh, that's funny.
that was it. The last thing I wanted to ask you before we go, just out of curiosity, have you tried the new Starbucks that has the olive oil in it?
No.
Have you heard about this?
What?
Starbucks has a new line of drinks that is made with olive oil.
Okay.
And it's supposed to be like this healthy, speaking of Earth Day, this healthy kind of organic thing. But now they're saying like you should maybe be close to a bathroom.
Oh, sure. 100%.
People are really complaining.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's the whole
what it's doing to their
health of it, right?
Yeah,
It's like a
exactly.
cleanse.
When I read it, I
Oh
was
my
like,
God.
I got to try this.
Right. Stay home.
I think we should try it before the next pod.
Okay.
We should see. Someday. Yeah, we'll go. We'll do a little office run, and everybody's got to get the olive oil ones. And
Well,
well, then we only have 2 stalls because one of them's down.
One of them's
I know.
down.
So
Our bathrooms aren't that good here.
I know.
Oleato.
What is it called?
Starbucks Oleato.
Oleato.
Yeah, they have all these
So
different
there's
flavors.
like these diets where like I know somebody that was drinking black coffee with butter for that reason.
I mean, there's a diet with butter in it.
You
I
put
feel
a
like I'm down with
tablespoon
that.
of butter in your
That's the
black
kind of
coffee.
diet I'm on right now.
Only at reserve locations.
Oh, like the
all
roasteries,
right.
probably.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know how
Stop
long it's
it,
going to be there.
Starbucks.
So
I
if you want to
can't.
try it, you better hurry
Oh
because
my
they're getting
God.
some backlash.
That's funny.
So I think that's it because we had such a great interview with what?
My-
Oh my God, you're so right. Oh, must fun. Speaking of, so I brought my Kelly and Ryan, my Live with Kelly and Ryan, which is now a keepsake
I know.
mug because tomorrow is Ryan's last day
I know.
on Kelly and Ryan,
I'm so
and
sad.
this is like hitting me hard.
It is.
I love.
It's like you feel like you're breaking up.
I love
I
Ryan
know.
Seacrest.
I know.
And I thought of you today because I was watching it before I left, and Kelly and Ryan. Kelly's like, I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, I get this beautiful invitation in the mail to Ryan's farewell party that he planned for himself. She's like, oh right, I'm a bad. She's like, oh, I guess I should have done that. I'm like,
my
that's
God,
totally
that's
me. Like,
so funny.
You have to plan your own farewell party. She's like,
Yes. Yes.
should have done that
Because I love Kelly, but she's like,
she's busy.
She's busy.
She's a busy one.
And now she's like, her husband's coming on the show.
can't.
Like, that's,
I mean,
it's going to be so different.
I just love their chemistry, and I'm kind of like, I can't imagine doing this show without you,
Right?
And having to start over with chemistry. Even with somebody that like her and her husband. She's great. I'm sure they'll be fine. But I had to laugh. I was like, the fact that they can just make fun of that.
Right,
I was
right.
laughing right there.
I love that.
'Cause cheers to Ryan and Kelly, and good luck, Kelly and Mark, and good for Ryan.
Yeah.
He can he's way
He's gonna go live
overbooked.
his
He's
life.
overbooked.
Yeah,
He's going to go live his
exactly.
life. But
That's awesome.
Thanks for bringing us all the entertainment and giving us inspiration for this show.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, so we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
The Long Island Tea Podcast is brought to you by Discover Long Island. For exclusive access to contests and promotions, follow Long Island Tea Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And for questions, comments, and collaborative inquiries, email spillthetea@discoverlongisland.com.